Okay, this is the reading for Horrors Anonymous. Story of rape. King David's son was a rapist. His seed. It's 2 Samuel 13 if you want to follow along. And it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister whose name was Tamar. And Ammon, the son of David, loved her. Ammon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar. She was a virgin, and Ammon thought it hard for him to do anything to her, but Ammon had a friend whose name was Jonadab, the son of Shemiah, David's brother, and Jonadab was a very subtle man. And he said to him, "Why art thou, being the king's son, lean from day to day? Wilt thou not tell me?" And Ammon said to him, "I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister." And Jonadab said to him, "Lay thee down on the bed, make thyself sick, and when the father come to see thee, say to him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come and give me meat, and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it and eat at her hand." So Ammon lay down, made himself sick, and when the king was come to see him, Ammon said unto the king, "I pray thee, let Tamar my sister come and make me a couple of cakes in my sight, that I may eat at her hand." Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, "Go now to thy brother Ammon's house, and dress him meat." So Tamar went to her brother Ammon's house, and he was laid down, and she took flour, kneaded it, and made cakes in his sight, and did bake the cakes. She took the pan, poured them out before him, but he refused to eat. And Ammon said, "Have out all the men from me." And they went out, every man from him. And Ammon said to Tamar, "Bring the meat into the chamber, that I may eat of thy hand." Tamar took the cakes that she had made, and brought them into the chamber to Ammon her brother. And when she had brought them in unto him to eat, he took a hold of her, and said unto her, "Come lie with me, my sister." And she answered him, "Nay, my brother, do not force me. No such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not do this folly. And I, whither shall I cause my shame to go? And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. Now, therefore, I pray thee, speak unto the king. He will not withhold me from thee." Howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice, and being stronger than she, forced her, lay with her. Then Ammon hated her exceedingly, so that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater wherewith the love he loved her. So Ammon said unto her, "Arise, be gone, GTFO." And she said to him, "There's no cause. This evil in sending me away is greater than the other that thou didst to me." But he wouldn't hearken unto her. And then he called a servant that ministered unto him, and said, "Put now this woman out from me, and bolt the door after her. She had a garment of divers colors upon her, for with such robes were the king's daughters that were virgins apparelled." Then his servant brought her out, and bolted the door after her. And Tamar put ashes on her head, and rent her garment of diverse colors that was on her, and laid her hand on her head, and went on crying. And Absalom her brother said to her, "Hath Ammon thy brother been with thee? But now hold thy peace, my sister. He is thy brother. Regard not this thing." So Tamar remained desolate in her brother Absalom's house. But when King David heard all these things, he was very wroth. And Absalom spake to his brother Ammon, neither good nor bad, for Absalom hated Ammon, because he forced his sister Tamar. And it came to pass that after 2 full years, that Absalom had sheep shearers in Baalhazor, which is beside Ephraim. And Absalom invited all the king's sons. Now Absalom came to the king and said, "Behold, now thy servant has sheep shearers. Let the king, I beseech thee, and his servants go with thy servant." And the king said to Absalom, "Nay, my son, let us not all go, lest we be chargeable unto thee." And he pressed him, howbeit he would not, but blessed him. Then said Absalom, "If not, I pray thee, let my brother Ammon go with us." And the king said to him, "Why should he go with thee?" But Absalom pressed him, and he let Ammon and all the king's sons go with him. Now Absalom had commanded his servants, saying, "Mark ye now, when Ammon's heart is merry with wine, and when I say unto you, Smite Ammon, then kill him. Fear not, I have commanded you, be courageous and be valiant." And the servants of Absalom did unto Ammon as Absalom had commanded. Then all the king's sons arose, and every man got up to his mule and fled. And it came to pass that when they were in the way, that tidings came to David, saying, "Absalom has slain all the king's sons, and there's none of them left." And the king arose and tore his garments and lay on the earth, and all his servants stood by with their clothes rent. Then Jonadab, the son of Shemiah, David's brother, answered and said, Let not my lord suppose that they have slain all the young men, the king's son. Only Ammon is dead. For by the appointment of Absalom this has been determined from the day that he forced his sister. Now, therefore, let not my lord the king take this thing to heart, to think that all the king's sons are dead, for only Ammon is dead. But Absalom fled, and the young man that kept watch lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there came much people by the way of the hillside from behind him. And Jonadab said unto the king, Behold, the king's sons come, as thy servant said, so it is. And it came to pass, as soon as he made an end of speaking, that, behold, the king's sons came and lifted up their voice and wept. And the king and all his servants wept very sore. But Absalom fled and went to Talmai, Talmai, and the son of Amminadab, king of Geshur, and David mourned for his son every day. And Absalom fled and went to Gershon, and was there for 3 years. And the soul of King David longed to go forth unto Absalom, for he was comforted concerning Ammon, seeing that he was dead.